At 56, the tragedy of Jennifer Aniston is beyond heartbreaking, because for all the laughter she brought into the world as Rachel Green on Friends, for all the smiles on red carpets, for all the magazine covers and accolades, her personal journey has often been one of loneliness, heartbreak, and silent battles that fame could never heal. To millions, Jennifer Aniston has always seemed to live a charmed life, America's sweetheart, the golden girl of television and film, the actress whose beauty and wit made her one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. But behind that image is a woman who has struggled with broken relationships, relentless media scrutiny, the pressures of aging in an industry obsessed with youth, and the deeply personal grief of never having the family life she longed for. The tragedy of Jennifer Aniston lies in the cruel irony that while she made the world laugh, her own heart was often breaking in private. Her story begins with a childhood that was far from perfect. Born in 1969 to actors John Aniston and Nancy Dow, Jennifer grew up in a fractured home, with her parents' divorce leaving emotional scars that would shape her view of love and family for the rest of her life. She has spoken candidly about the difficult relationship she had with her mother, who was often critical of her looks and choices, leaving Jennifer with lifelong insecurities despite her later success. These early wounds made her crave stability and acceptance, yet they also left her vulnerable to the kind of heartbreaks that would come later in life. Her rise to fame on Friends was meteoric, transforming her into a global superstar practically overnight. Rachel Green became a cultural icon, and Jennifer won Emmy and Golden Globe awards, cementing her place in Hollywood history. Yet even as she reached the pinnacle of success, the shadow of her personal life loomed large. The media relentlessly hounded her, first during her marriage to Brad Pitt, and then during their highly publicized divorce in 2005, which became one of the most infamous tabloid stories of the decade. Fans painted her as the woman scorned, pitting her against Angelina Jolie in a narrative that Jennifer never asked for but could never escape. The heartbreak of losing her marriage while the world watched and judged was a tragedy that cut deep, leaving her to navigate healing under the harshest spotlight imaginable. The years that followed brought more challenges. Despite continued success in films and television, Jennifer's private life remained a source of constant speculation. Every interview, every public appearance was met with questions about whether she would remarry, whether she would have children, whether she was truly happy. The tragedy of her story lies in how the world projected its expectations onto her, reducing her to the status of a symbol rather than a human being. When she married actor Justin Theroux in 2015, fans hoped she had finally found lasting happiness. But their separation just 2 years later brought more whispers, more headlines, and more public dissection of her private grief. Perhaps the most heartbreaking part of Jennifer Aniston's story is her unfulfilled longing for motherhood. Over the years, tabloids cruelly speculated about her fertility, scrutinizing her body for signs of pregnancy, creating a narrative of a woman defined by what she did not have. Jennifer herself has spoken out about the pain of these rumors, explaining that no woman should be judged or diminished for her personal choices or circumstances. Yet the stigma and constant questioning left her carrying a heavy burden, one that turned her most personal struggles into public gossip. At 56, Jennifer Aniston remains one of the most admired actresses of her generation, but her tragedy lies in the loneliness that fame has never been able to cure. She has money, beauty, and success, yet she has endured heartbreak in love, estrangement in family, and relentless judgment from the world. Her story is not one of failure, but of resilience, a woman who continues to work, to inspire, to speak out, and to stand strong despite the heartbreaks that have shaped her life. The tragedy of Jennifer Aniston is beyond heartbreaking because it reminds us that even those who seem to have everything often carry invisible wounds, and that behind her smile is a woman who has survived pain most of us could never imagine.